Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Princess Principal Episode 11. Now this one's going to be a little bit difficult because my thoughts on it are a little bit difficult. Was it still good? Yes. Did it make much sense? I guess kind of in the context that they threw into it. But basically, I'll go through it part by part. That might make it easier. So yeah, let's go through part by part and then give general thoughts, but my first general thought, I'll just go ahead and throw in here so you'll know my basic thoughts on it. It's the classic, sometimes annoying, usually annoying, group pull apart that you see in movies, you see in TV shows, where all the group falls apart, and sometimes it's via big misunderstanding, sometimes it's lack of communication, or sometimes it's out of their hands like it was here, but they all fall apart so that they can come back together at the end and be victorious and the good guys win, yada yada. This was our classic group pull apart right before the finale. But basically, starting at the beginning, we have General Dumbplan McBad Ideas, who has a really dumb idea to kill Princess for not really any good reason at the moment. We find out a little bit of a reason later on, but even then, it just seems very short-sighted and rushed, and it doesn't seem like something that's going to work in any way. But either way, moving along. Also, it's kind of a lame plot idea. I don't know, just because of it not making much sense, even with the sort of stuff they retcon in later. It's not even really retconning, but it's like they give us a situation and then try to scoop stuff in that's never been presented in the story to make it make sense later on. It's kind of a lame plot idea to have them ordered to assassinate Princess just because of how little sense it kind of makes. But either way, Anj can't tell Dorothy, and I get that. I understand it when they're on the ride back. And, like, she is so, like, closed off and cannot trust anyone but Princess to the point where she doesn't want to kill Charlotte, and she thinks Dorothy can tell that as well, of course. But she can't tell her about her wanting to save Princess, because then what if Dorothy's actually loyal to the people, and her saying that to Dorothy just costs Princess her life and just costs her her own life, because telling Dorothy means telling command. So I get why, as much as I want them to be normal, ordinary friends, they are still spies, and Anj can't just tell her. But then we see this 42-man unit. That will be explained later. Zelda is apparently the new team commander, Dorothy is now gone, and there are 8 members including Princess, and a bunch of spies everywhere from both sides just watching over them. And it seems like the mission to me is for them to be obvious. At the moment I was thinking the missions, they're going to be obvious, get caught, then a war is going to break out because the military has taken over the command or whatever. But Chisei gets transferred, or so she's told at least. The Duke finds out that an army's been gathering, so of course this whole army plan's not really going to work anyway because the Duke already knows, unless he wants it to work, but why would he really? Well, I guess if it works, he could then suppress it and become the king. That could be his plan. But either way, Anj was apparently planning to commit suicide way back in the day, and that was when she met, the real Anj, or the real Anj, who is now Princess. But that was how they ended up meeting, as she was about to commit suicide that day. So she's really still got that loyalty. Now they go to the small station thing, people are watching all over. Anj makes a run for it, pretends that she did the assassination. They switch places, of course. Then once they make it to the place where they can both escape, Princess says, I can't run away, I need to change this country. And I love that for her. I love that she has her own goal, that she can't just be selfish and save only herself here. So pretty much she tells Anj what she tells her, and we know it's kind of bullshit, but she's trying to tell her that so that she'll stop chasing her, stop trying to save her, and that Anj can live and she will die if it means saving the country. She'll take on that danger. Then we see Chisei told a little bit of the truth by Horikawa, but she's a little bit keyed into what's going on now. And we get the explanation that apparently there's a coup within the kingdom to make Princess the queen, and then they would go to war with the Commonwealth. And that's what the Commonwealth is kind of banking on here, to make Princess their queen and to make Anj Princess. So of course they think that Anj is Princess now, and it's confusing because technically technically the original Anj is princess. So technically they're kind of right. But yeah, this whole thing is super, super short-sighted. Lots of problems with this plan, because if the plan is to have her take over here, why going to war would kind of waste a bunch of lives for nothing, and it seems like it could easily fail, and then they would lose Princess, who is a really, really important piece to have. I don't want to say a pawn, but I just think that this whole plan that the Commonwealth is going through with here is really, really short-sighted, because even if it works, it's not really much of a permanent solution, I guess, and it's not really a solution that comes without a bunch of bloodshed and a possibility of losing everything. So it's kind of just a dumb idea. It's a really dumb plan. But the episode, to talk about things outside of the plot as judging the episode, it was that classic group fall apart episode, like I said. So that they can unite, they can win in the finale. What I'm hoping happens here is that they put an end to the coup so that we can have a second season. That's what I want. Because I think if we have this coup take place and it all works out, but the good guy group somehow manages to wrest their own control and then become, I guess that would make them actual leaders, because Princess would become queen. But I think that'd be too quick. We did all that in 2 episodes with this whole coup thing not being mentioned in any of the previous 10. I think that would be kind of not really a good ending. That would be throwing an ending in because they want to have an ending, not because it's good. So yeah, I hope they just kind of take down this coup and then continue on for the second season. So yeah, also, even if they did succeed here, yeah, Princess and Anj, that whole thing would still be going on, and it would just be sloppy. There would be a lot of loose ends that wouldn't be tied up ever, but would still just be out there. So it'd be kind of a sloppy ending. So yeah, either way. And the big thing I did like about this the most, though, was Princess having her own will to save people, even if it meant putting herself in danger. And her wanting Anj to survive and stop trying to save her so that she can stand on her own and do this and save the people. So it was good seeing her be strong, because we've seen everybody else sort of protect her a lot of the time. But either way, like I said, not much I can say other than it was your basic pull apart episode. So 7.5 transfers out of 10. Not really any good idea of what to do here. It was an okay episode. It was alright. But you know, and this is just me gonna get derailed. I always hate these parts in movies and stuff, don't you? Where it's like, movies without these do so much better so often. And even in movies I like that have parts where the group falls apart so they can all come back together or whatever, the part where they all fall apart is a good 15-30 minutes of the movie that it's like, man, I don't really feel like watching this. So yeah, it's almost even not really that necessary, because there are so many other ways to write things without having to spend an episode with this whole break apart stuff. So while it's not the worst thing ever, it's kind of the low point of a series purposefully. So yeah, I don't know, just left like, waiting for next week, and I have faith it'll be good, but I'm just really, really hoping that such a great show, in my opinion, the best show of the season, doesn't hit us with a bad ending. Because, man, it'll just be so disappointing because of how good the show is to have an ending that isn't good. So I'm really hopeful for a good ending next week. But either way, if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Princess Principal, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want, and I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That's it. If you want a link to the Discord, just ask and I'll give you one. Yeah, so thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.